Grand Theft Auto is one of the most successful video game franchises with over 250 million copies sold worldwide. From the first few top-down games to the masterpiece we know today as Grand Theft Auto 5, the series has produced some amazing games. GTA 5 was so good, you've probably asked yourself, what can Rockstar do next? Well, look no further because we'll be looking at 10 Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors that will blow you away. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our content and ring that bell to become part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. Destructible environment. Obviously, given there will always be some buildings that are essential to the plot of a GTA game, a completely destructible environment might be completely unrealistic. But perhaps having some buildings crumble if you hit them with explosives or another powerful weapon is possible. Maybe they can take a page out of EA's book and use some elements from their Frostbite engine to create a destructible environment. If you've ever played Battlefield 1, you know how amazing this engine can truly be. An engine like Frostbite could make the GTA 6 world look like it's set in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. The biggest concern with regard to implementing a gaming environment which can be leveled if the player wants is whether the system can handle it while also running everything else required for the game. If you have a very strong PC, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There might be some lag spikes here and there, but overall, it should be quite smooth. The issue would be on the consoles. It would be tough for the regular PS4 and Xbox One to handle that kind of a game. That being said, if the game isn't out until 2020, there is great potential for this on the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One X. Create your own character. Yes, we know GTA Online has allowed players to customize characters since the beginning, but for the purposes of the main storyline, we have yet to see it in Grand Theft Auto games. One of the best ways to start a game off with an immersive edge is to allow people to customize their own character. Whether one tries to make the character look like themselves or just tries to make a unique one, it's up to the player, and allows for a more personal experience. In a game like Grand Theft Auto, where there's a different protagonist each game, it will make a lot of sense to create your own character. While the ability to choose clothes and a hairstyle have been around since the post-CLOD games, actually deciding what your character looks like and coming up with a backstory for the character has yet to be implemented. While aesthetic customizations is purely for the sake of each player's personal preference, allowing the choice of backstory could add to the options throughout gameplay in the same way as done in the Mass Effect series. Possibly, being able to keep the same character in future games would be amazing as well, but Grand Theft Auto 7 is probably not even thought of right now. More role-playing possibility. We personally find it difficult to nitpick when it comes to Grand Theft Auto games. Having grown up with the series and having enjoyed every minute of those games, the infrequent negative aspects of gameplay like glitches here and there, and some poorly designed missions don't seem to be worth complaining about when considered within the grand scheme of the series. But looking closely at each game, while there is ample freedom of movement and some freedom in completing missions and ordering them, there is little opportunity to choose how to play the game in a role-playing facility. Obviously, at the end of GTA 5, you can choose to kill Trevor, Michael, or neither of them and instead hunt down your common enemies, but that was pretty much it. One of the most intriguing rumors about the next game is we'll be able to pick what side we play for. It would be great to have a choose-your-own-path type of Grand Theft Auto game where your decisions actually matter in the end. Many games use the fact that you can make decisions which have consequences as a selling point and never fulfill these promises, leaving gamers both frustrated and annoyed. If Rockstar goes down this path, hopefully they don't make the same mistakes that those before them have. VR compatibility. There is no shortage of gaming franchises that sound just slightly better with the added immersive effects of virtual reality technology. There are a few ways in which VR could actually add to the experience of playing a Grand Theft Auto game, and a couple of reasons why we are skeptical of this potential development. We imagine firefights could somewhat benefit from VR, and we could opt for a first-person view much like what the PS4, Xbox One, and PC users could do in GTA 5 rather than the constant third-person system. Just imagining being in a Grand Theft Auto 5 gunfight in VR is amazing. Driving would likely allow for an awesome experience as well, but only for those who already enjoy the experience of driving with an inside-the-car view, which works much better with some cars than others. We imagine the visuals, which are always pretty good in GTA games, will also look great with VR compatibility. Also, just walking or driving around in-game would be so much more immersive by allowing players to hear people talking, looking them in the eye, and experiencing the sights and sounds of the city as if they were really there. The map will be the entire United States. Here is one of the reasons Grand Theft Auto 6 may take a while to complete. There are some whispers online about possibly making the map for this game something larger than GTA fans have seen ever before. Remember Vice City? Incredible game, no question, but the map was undeniably small, especially when compared to San Andreas, which came out a couple of years later, offering us 3 cities and multiple regions of wilderness. Of course, GTA 5 offered much more of the same with far more detail, but imagine a game featuring not only San Andreas, but also Liberty City, Vice City, and maybe a few others thrown in for good measure. A variety of different biomes would be great as well. The United States is known for its diverse geography, from the rainy Pacific Northeast to the dry Mojave Desert, from the Rocky Mountains in Colorado to the Grand Canyon in Arizona. There is such a wide variety of climates to be seen. We have seen some amazing maps in the past few years from franchises like Fallout, Far Cry, Just Cause, and The Crew, but if Rockstar were to try to do something similar with Grand Theft Auto 6, we'd be willing to wait just a bit longer. Heading to other countries. As most of us know, most of the Grand Theft Auto franchise has taken place in a fictionalized version of the United States. The exceptions to the rule are a pair of expansion packs released in 1999 for the original Grand Theft Auto, which took us to London. Since then, the games have been all about the US of A. While the rumor the next major installment in the series might be set outside of the United States has pretty much been laid to rest, it could still happen. Don't misunderstand. It almost definitely won't happen, but there is always some potential for a single mission or set of missions to take place elsewhere. We do know that Rockstar employees have traveled to places including Tokyo for the purposes of possibly planning a game, and we also know certain trademarks have been filed for game titles including GTA Bogota and GTA Tokyo. A GTA game set in Bogota, Colombia would be very interesting, and the main storyline would surely involve the cartels. A Grand Theft Auto game in Tokyo would also be pretty amazing. The city would be so large, and maybe the infamous crime syndicate known as the Yakuza would make an appearance. Either of these games would be a nice change of direction for Rockstar. A new time period. There's no other way to put it. Grand Theft Auto Vice City was an awesome experience. The atmosphere was incredible. Part of that was due to the Scarface theme and the iconic Miami scenery, but the feeling of living in the 1980s between the style, music, and cars also added to how awesome the game was. On one hand, another current-era game like GTA 5 would obviously be welcome, but one popular rumor is the game might take place in the 1970s. Well, ain't that groovy? Groovy. Much like the 80s, this decade had a style and feel all its own, and would make for amazing gameplay. It's been suggested GTA 6 could be a prequel to another game, possibly Vice City or Vice City Stories. But given these games are in the SD universe and we are now into the HD universe, this doesn't really make much sense. It would be a lot of work for the developers to start from scratch to create a Vice City-style world in the HD universe. Either way, the rumor exists that the next game will take place in the 70s, a decade this franchise and many other franchises before it have pretty much forgotten. Another iconic American city. One of the biggest questions prior to the release of any Grand Theft Auto title is the setting. The setting is something that can be toyed with. There have been 3 iconic GTA cities throughout the games. We've seen Liberty City as New York City, Vice City as Miami, and Los Santos as Los Angeles. Based on the fact everyone is gunning for a new Vice City game and Rockstar doesn't want to be predictable, it could be reason enough to take the next title elsewhere. The internet has picked up on this and have come up with a few possible American cities which may be the ideal location for Grand Theft Auto 6. These cities include Houston, Seattle, Chicago, and even Philadelphia. These cities might be great ideas if Rockstar was looking at sticking to one main city as they did with GTA 5. They could also opt for a more GTA San Andreas experience and have multiple big cities on the map. Rockstar might even end up making one of the 2 other cities from GTA San Andreas, which are Las Venturas and San Fierro, the main city of the game. Who knows? These cities only played a small role in the game, so it would be interesting if they were expanded to GTA 6. New gunplay mechanics. Okay, so we'll have to admit this rumor is nothing new. Practically every time a new Grand Theft Auto game comes out, people are asking whether the tired old auto-aim and pull-the-trigger gunplay will be improved or replaced. While we love the series, and honestly, how can you not love this series, there is no denying the shooting could use some freshening up. It's essentially been the same since the dawn of the 3D universe. GTA 5 did a decent job of taking the existing mechanics and making it a bit more user-friendly, but at the end of the day, they just polished a turd. They have the potential to change this, and the idea of importing some of what makes the gunplay in Red Dead Redemption so outstanding into the next Grand Theft Auto game has been floating around the forums for a while now. Seriously, if Rockstar can incorporate some mechanics from their other hit games into GTA, it would be incredible. One has to imagine that if the online communities thought about it, so have the magnificent minds over at Rockstar. There is a chance GTA 6 will be the end of poor shooting mechanics in the series. Female protagonist. Now, because these are all rumors, some completely fly in the face of others. Earlier in the video, we mentioned a couple of points about protagonists and whether we would be able to make our own character in GTA 6. GTA 5 had 3 protagonists and none of them were women. For the purposes of that game, Rockstar's Dan Houser said a female protagonist wouldn't have worked for the 5th installment, but the creative staff of the company weren't against the idea. It was very true though. We don't know how Rockstar could have fit a female protagonist into the game unless they would have made some major changes to the plot. That being said, Rockstar has consistently come under fire for featuring exclusively male protagonists and female characters with little or no substance. We could see this going one of 2 ways. Either an awesome female main character gets thrown into the mix and we don't get to build our own character, or Rockstar keeps the male protagonist coming just to continue to infuriate those pockets of the internet that probably wouldn't buy this kind of game anyway. Either way, Rockstar will sell millions of copies of Grand Theft Auto 6 when it's finally released. Wow, if these rumors are true, Grand Theft Auto 6 is shaping up to be one hell of a game. What are some features you'd like to see in GTA 6? Are there any rumors we may have missed? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with our playlist. Thanks for watching.